There is a conversation unfolding at Chargers camp that nobody is having in front of a microphone. You see it in the order of the reps, in who lines up beside the starters, and especially in who is slowly disappearing from the picture. Bolt fam, get ready. 4 quiet developments are reshaping this roster. A recent pick is in danger. An unlikely name is crashing the starting race. Herbert has found a vertical threat, and the defense is getting stronger inside. Pick the side paying attention. Subscribe now. Today we're opening that backstage door to see who's really rising and who might not survive final cuts. The first case is uncomfortable because the paper projection points the other way. Kennard arrived as a 4th-round pick in 2025 with the kind of resume that usually buys a player patience. SEC Defensive Player of the Year, serious production, and a clear opportunity after Joey Bosa left. He needed to show he could develop behind Khalil Mack and Tuli Tuipulotu too, then eventually handle a larger role. The NFL does not care about the story your draft profile promised. Kennard appeared in only 5 games as a rookie and played 80 defensive snaps. He dealt with physical issues during camp, but when he was available, he spent much of the season as a healthy inactive. The Odafe Owe trade closed the opening that once seemed to belong to him. Owe is no longer on the roster, yet Kennard has not regained that ground. When a job opens again and another player claims the space without your name returning to the conversation, the staff's silence starts saying plenty. Tuli and Mack own the top 2 spots. Akeem Mesidor, this year's first-round pick, has already settled comfortably into the 3rd role. The 4th spot may be the last one available because carrying a 5th edge will depend on needs elsewhere. Kennard is fighting Bud Dupree and undrafted rookie N'Dame Tucker for that piece of the roster. In theory, youth, recent draft investment, and special teams value should help him. In reality, this staff has favored Dupree before, and Tucker has arrived ready to wreck the expected order. That backstage view gets brutal. Tucker played for defensive coordinator Chris O'Leary at Western Michigan, produced like one of the best pass rushers in college last season, and is turning heads in camp. That connection shortens the road to trust. O'Leary knows his response, communication, and competitiveness. Tucker keeps showing up while Kennard is becoming an afterthought. And I will say it straight, when fans forget a recent draft pick is still on the team, the practices usually have not given them a reason to remember. The decision has not been made. Preseason football exists to break depth chart assumptions, and one dominant run could put Kennard back in the fight. Injuries can rearrange everything too, but the read today is harsh. He may trail both competitors and could be headed for the practice squad 16 months after Los Angeles drafted him. Defending the Chargers does not mean shielding every investment from an honest evaluation. It means demanding the best possible unit. If Tucker offers more juice or Dupree gives the staff immediate trust, the shield matters more than keeping Kennard. Across the field, another story is rising without an SEC award, premium pick, or special treatment. Branson Taylor entered the offseason almost invisible. A 6th-round selection in 2025 after playing tackle in college, he spent his first year on the practice squad while the Chargers searched for his place along the line. His chance came in Week 18 against Denver, when he started in place of the regulars. It looked like a late cameo. The building kept that door open. Taylor returned in better shape, and that connects to Mike McDaniel's offense. The system demands tempo, movement, and linemen who can reach space without losing their base on contact. Taylor's feet look quicker, his movement looks cleaner, and his anchor remains solid. When a player changes his body before the staff has to demand it, he is showing everyone that he recognized the opportunity early. The clearest signal came through the reps. Taylor worked with the first unit in consecutive practices, including the first fully padded session, and emerged as a contender at left guard. Coaches do not hand out first-team reps just to create a nice underdog story. They test combinations they believe they might use. The question is no longer whether Taylor can survive the cut. It is how far this charge can carry him. For Justin Herbert, that is enormous. An offensive line is not the 5 best resumes. It is 5 players seeing the same picture and keeping interior pressure from killing the play. McDaniel can speed up Herbert's reads, but no concept survives if the pocket caves in through the middle. If Taylor brings outside zone mobility and enough strength to sit down against a bull rush, he may be answering one of this offense's most sensitive questions. That sends a message across the roster. Reputation and draft position offer no protection when another player produces more with his reps. I still need to see him handle fronts that disguise pressure, attack communication, and force decisions at speed. A strong camp opens the case. It does not close it. But if this trajectory survives the preseason, Los Angeles could turn a 6th-round pick into a starter in front of Herbert. Development like that creates depth, preserves resources, and proves this new offense is not looking for comfortable names. It wants players who can match its pace. Then a clue appears that changes the feel of the entire offense. Lad McConkey spent much of OT as limited after tweaking his hamstring. While he missed live reps, other receivers moved ahead in their work with McDaniel, so his slower start to camp made sense. McConkey finding his rhythm again is not the interesting part. Where Herbert has started finding him is. But Bolt fam, here is where the story gets interesting. McConkey is showing up deep. Most offseason projections about his fit focused on yards after the catch, precise routes, quick separation, the ball arriving on time, and open grass to attack. All of that still matters. But reducing Ladd to a yak specialist ignores a weapon that has been hidden behind his technique. He ran a 4.39 second 40 at the combine. This man has the speed to put real stress on a secondary vertically. Herbert keeps targeting McConkey downfield and building a level of trust that does not come from one pretty completion. It takes repeated release points, reading a corner's leverage, controlling the angle against the safety, and knowing both players see the same window. McConkey may not have rookie Brennan Thompson's pure acceleration, but game speed is not an isolated track race. The route manipulates the defender, timing erases distance, and Herbert's arm turns half a step into open field. Once that chemistry matures, a defense cannot wait for the throw before reacting. It has to respect the threat before the ball even leaves Herbert's hand. That forces every safety to hesitate, and hesitation is exactly what this quarterback punishes best. Think about the problem that creates. If the defense crowds McConkey to take away quick throws and limit his production after the catch, he can run through the coverage. If it backs off to respect the deep ball, McDaniel gets the space he wants for the intermediate game. The same receiver threatens two levels without forcing a personnel change, and Herbert never has to announce the intention before the snap. That is a strategic advantage, not August noise. The hamstring still deserves smart management because explosiveness means nothing without availability. Yet Camp is answering for the time McConkey lost during OTAs. He does not look trapped in catch-up mode. He is already expanding his job. If this vertical connection makes it through the preseason and into Sundays, Los Angeles will have turned its most reliable receiver into one of its hardest players to frame. McDaniel's offense will no longer need a defense to make an obvious mistake. It will create choices where every answer comes with a price. The final signal comes from Camp's least glamorous place. Heavy hands, double teams, and almost no room to operate. Caldwell entered year 2 without anyone manufacturing his case. He played well as a rookie and opened camp beside Tier Tard and Dalvin Tomlinson, creating problems for the offense. Young defensive tackles usually need time at the point of attack. NFL guards control angles, recover their base, and punish any late hand placement. Caldwell appears to be speeding up that clock. In his second camp, he already looks ready for meaningful snaps. Tard and Tomlinson allow him to grow without carrying the interior alone. Caldwell can attack matchups and force Chris O'Leary to find more ways to keep him on the field. Keep winning, and the staff must find him more snaps. That is where all four stories connect. Kennard feels the threat because the competition has come alive. Taylor is climbing because he arrived ready for McDaniel's design. McConkey is stretching the offense because his deep speed has resurfaced with Herbert. Caldwell is accelerating the future of the rotation. This team is rewarding present-day adaptation, not old expectations. For a franchise waiting too long for potential to become production, that is healthy. Bolt War Room is open. Which one of these developments changes the Chargers' ceiling the most? I look at Caldwell and see weight, youth, and continuity in the heart of the defense. Interior pressure shortens the pocket, keeps the quarterback from stepping up, and clears paths for Mack, Thule, and Mesidor. It may not create the flashiest image, but it can reshape everything around it. Now comes the demand. Caldwell has to carry his camp success into real blocks, stay disciplined against the run, and prove his body can handle a larger workload. If he does, Los Angeles will have more than a young promise. It will have a piece moving ahead of schedule exactly when this defense needs new answers. That discovery changes a roster without a blockbuster. The answer was already inside the building. The message from this camp does not fit into a winners and losers list. It is in the way every rep demands an answer. Kennard is fighting not to disappear. Taylor is forcing his way toward the starters. McConkey is adding depth to his game, and Caldwell is accelerating the defense's future. Los Angeles needs this ruthless filter because the AFC does not reward resumes or promises. It rewards who produces now. Subscribe and do not miss the next turn in these battles. Bolt fam, I need your opinion on this one. What grade do you give this staff for letting competition matter more than prior investment?